Ladies and gentlemen, what if I told you that the most powerful way to capture a man's attention is not through the curve of your body, but through the curve of your mind? Mental attraction lasts longer than physical attraction because it is rooted in a deeper understanding, emotional compatibility, and shared values that stand the test of time. Physical attraction is often instant, a spark that ignites quickly based on appearance, style, or body language, but it fades when the novelty wears off or when life's challenges reveal that there is little foundation underneath. Mental attraction, on the other hand, is cultivated slowly and grows stronger with each meaningful interaction. It's built on curiosity, admiration, respect, and the emotional safety that comes when two people feel genuinely understood by each other. When you connect with someone on a mental level, you engage their thoughts, challenge their perspectives, and inspire their growth. This kind of connection doesn't just create a moment of interest, it creates an ongoing hunger to know more about each other. When you choose yourself, you naturally prioritize mental attraction over physical. Choosing yourself means valuing your own self, worth, your time, and your emotional energy. It's understanding that beauty alone is not the currency of lasting relationships. Your thoughts, your passions, your ambitions, and your emotional strength are what truly make you unforgettable. By centering your self-esteem on who you are rather than how you look, you avoid the trap of chasing validation based only on appearance. You begin to interact with others from a place of confidence and abundance rather than fear of losing their interest. This makes you magnetic because people are drawn to someone who radiates self-assuredness and doesn't seek approval at every turn. Mental attraction thrives when there is depth to explore. Looks may catch the eye, but it is the layers of personality, humor, intelligence, and emotional openness that keep someone engaged. Choosing yourself equips you to offer these layers without losing your boundaries. You're no longer trying to impress someone in order to be chosen. You are simply showing who you are and allowing the right person to appreciate it. This not only draws in the right kind of attention, but also filters out those who are interested only in superficial qualities. The power of mental attraction is that it's resilient. Physical beauty changes over time, bodies age, styles shift, and appearances fluctuate. Mental attraction, however, can deepen over decades if nurtured. A partner who is mentally captivated by you doesn't just want to be around you for your appearance. They crave your thoughts, your insights, your company. They seek your perspective in moments of uncertainty and your comfort in moments of pain. This kind of connection becomes a source of stability and intimacy that physical desire alone can never sustain. When you choose yourself, you also refuse to settle for relationships where you're valued only for how you look. You set higher standards, looking for people who invest in knowing you deeply. This doesn't mean you dismiss physical attraction. It simply means you recognize it as the starting point, not the foundation. By nurturing your own growth, learning new things, pursuing your passions, and embracing your individuality, you give people something worth connecting to beyond the surface. This makes mental attraction almost inevitable for those who resonate with your energy. In moments of difficulty or distance, it is mental attraction that keeps two people connected. Even when life's circumstances make physical closeness less frequent, the mind remains engaged. Inside jokes, shared dreams, deep conversations, and mutual respect keep the bond alive. Physical attraction might waver in times of stress, illness, or change, but mental attraction creates a loyalty and fascination that endures. Choosing yourself ensures that you are always adding depth to your life, making you not only attractive to others, but also fulfilled within yourself. Ultimately, mental attraction outlasts physical attraction because it is built on something that cannot be faked or taken away: your essence, your character, and your ability to connect on a human level. Choosing yourself means you protect and prioritize these qualities, ensuring that anyone who desires you does so for reasons that go far beyond the surface. This is the kind of desire that endures when initial sparks fade, and it's what transforms interest into a bond that can stand the test of time. Intrigue beats perfection because human connection thrives on curiosity, discovery, and the sense that there is always more to learn about someone. Perfection may impress at first glance, but it can also create a feeling of distance or intimidation. When someone appears flawless, there is often nothing left to uncover, and the relationship can feel static. Intrigue, on the other hand, sparks an ongoing desire to explore. It's the way a person shares just enough of themselves to invite curiosity while leaving room for mystery and depth. People are drawn to those who have layers, quirks, and unexpected qualities, things that reveal themselves slowly over time and keep the dynamic exciting. When you choose yourself, you naturally lean into intrigue rather than striving for perfection. Choosing yourself means you are no longer molding your personality or image to meet someone else's ideal. Instead, you embrace your authenticity and understand that your imperfections, unique traits, and individuality are part of what make you interesting. Perfection often demands constant performance, a pressure to appear flawless in appearance, words, and behavior. Intrigue allows you to relax into who you are, knowing that the right people will be drawn to your authenticity rather than a polished facade. Perfection is finite. Once achieved, there is nothing left to discover. Intrigue is infinite because it evolves as you grow. When you choose yourself, you continue to explore your own passions, interests, and perspectives. This ongoing personal growth adds new dimensions to your personality, creating fresh points of connection for others to engage with. You become someone who can surprise, challenge, and inspire, not someone whose story is already complete. People stay invested in relationships where there is movement, growth, and unfolding, and intrigue thrives in exactly that environment. Intrigue also builds deeper attraction because it engages the mind, not just the eyes. Perfection often focuses on surface-level appeal, physical beauty, polished presentation, or idealized behavior. Intrigue draws someone in with your energy, your confidence, your way of seeing the world. It could be the way you tell a story, the passions you pursue, or the contradictions that make you multifaceted. Choosing yourself ensures that you are not afraid to show both your strengths and your complexities. This balance keeps people curious because they sense there is always more to learn about you. When you choose yourself, you also set boundaries that contribute to intrigue. You're not available at every moment, nor are you giving away all of your emotional energy without discernment. This doesn't mean playing games. It means valuing your own time and space. That self-respect naturally creates an element of scarcity. People appreciate and desire what is not constantly handed to them. Your independence, ambitions, and ability to thrive without constant attention make you more magnetic because they show that your life is full and self-sustaining. Intrigue also outlasts perfection in long-term relationships. Physical perfection can fade or change, and the effort to maintain it can become exhausting. Intrigue, however, deepens over time as partners share experiences, face challenges together, and reveal more of themselves. Choosing yourself means you are always adding richness to your life, learning new skills, exploring new ideas, and pursuing personal growth. These evolving qualities ensure that you remain an engaging and inspiring presence in someone's life, rather than a static image that loses its novelty. In moments of conflict or uncertainty, perfection can crumble under pressure because it depends on maintaining an illusion. Intrigue, built on authenticity and self-assurance, can withstand challenges because it is rooted in the real, ever-growing version of yourself. When you choose yourself, you stop chasing the exhausting and unattainable goal of flawless living, and you instead focus on being someone worth knowing, someone whose mind, heart, and spirit invite curiosity. This creates a form of attraction that is richer, more enduring, and far more fulfilling than the temporary approval perfection might bring. Depth is rare and valuable because it goes beyond surface-level charm or fleeting attraction to create a foundation for real connection, trust, and emotional intimacy. Most interactions in today's world stay at the surface, focused on appearances, quick impressions, and easy-to-share details. Depth requires something more: self-awareness, vulnerability, curiosity, and the willingness to invest time and energy into understanding another person. It's not about how much you reveal all at once, but about having genuine substance in your values, beliefs, passions, and emotional capacity. People who possess depth stand out because they offer more than momentary entertainment. They offer meaning, comfort, and a sense of belonging that can't be replicated by shallow interactions. When you choose yourself, you naturally cultivate depth. Choosing yourself means you prioritize personal growth, self-reflection, and living in alignment with your values. You take the time to understand your own mind and emotions, which allows you to bring authenticity into your connections. Instead of molding yourself to fit in or please others, you stand rooted in your truth. This self-possession creates a magnetic quality because others can sense that you are not easily swayed by trends, superficial approval, or the fear of being alone. Your presence feels grounded and secure, and that security invites people to open up in a way they might not with someone who only lives on the surface. Depth is rare because it requires emotional courage. Many people avoid revealing too much of themselves for fear of judgment or rejection. Choosing yourself gives you the resilience to embrace vulnerability as a strength rather than a weakness. You understand that sharing your authentic thoughts and experiences, whether they are beautiful or messy, helps foster real human connection. This openness is what makes you relatable and trustworthy, two qualities that are priceless in both romantic and platonic relationships. When someone encounters depth, they encounter layers. This means that there is always more to learn, more to discover, and more to appreciate. Physical attraction may catch attention, but depth keeps it. A person who brings depth to a relationship can discuss dreams, fears, and life's big questions without discomfort. They can hold space for someone else's emotions without trying to fix or dismiss them. This creates a bond that feels safe and nourishing. Choosing yourself ensures you develop these qualities because you take responsibility for your own emotional well-being rather than depending on others to define your worth. Depth is valuable because it inspires growth in others. When you bring thoughtfulness, perspective, and emotional intelligence into your relationships, you challenge those around you to think more deeply, feel more fully, and communicate more honestly. You become a catalyst for change, not by forcing it, but by living it. People drawn to you will often rise to meet you at that deeper level because they sense the authenticity and integrity you embody. Choosing yourself is what gives you this influence. It's the decision to live with purpose and intention that makes you a source of inspiration to those who value true connection. In long-term relationships, depth acts as a stabilizing force. While surface-level attraction may fade or fluctuate, the emotional and intellectual bond built through depth can withstand time, distance, and life's inevitable challenges. Choosing yourself means you continually add richness to your inner world through learning, self-discovery, and pursuing passions so that your relationships never stagnate. You remain an interesting, engaging, and nurturing presence, which keeps the connection alive even in the absence of constant novelty. Because depth is rare, it is deeply valued when found. Many people spend years searching for relationships where they feel genuinely seen and understood. When you choose yourself, you make it possible to offer that rare experience to others without losing yourself in the process. You become someone who brings meaning instead of just moments. And in a world that often settles for quick and easy connections, that makes you unforgettable. Challenge and inspire are two forces that elevate relationships from ordinary to extraordinary, creating an environment where both people grow and evolve together. To challenge someone in a healthy way is to encourage them to step beyond their comfort zone, think differently, and strive for more than they might have believed possible. To inspire someone is to awaken their motivation through your actions, words, and the example you set. When these two elements work together, they not only deepen attraction, but also build a sense of partnership that is dynamic, fulfilling, and future-focused. When you choose yourself, you become naturally equipped to challenge and inspire others because you are already living with intention and self-respect. Choosing yourself means you have standards for your life and relationships, and you refuse to shrink those standards just to be liked or accepted. This sets the tone for mutual respect and growth, because anyone who wants to be close to you will feel encouraged to meet you at the level of integrity, ambition, and authenticity you've set for yourself. You stop tolerating relationships where stagnation or complacency is the norm, and instead seek those where both people are committed to becoming the best versions of themselves. Challenging someone does not mean criticizing them or trying to change who they are. It's about holding them accountable to their potential and reminding them of what they are capable of when they might be doubting themselves. For example, if someone expresses a dream or goal, you encourage them to pursue it instead of letting fear or excuses hold them back. This kind of challenge is rooted in care and belief, not control. When you choose yourself, you understand this balance because you have already practiced holding yourself accountable to your own growth. You know the value of someone in your life who pushes you forward with love, and you become that for others. Inspiration often comes from simply living your truth. When you pursue your passions, make bold choices, and handle challenges with resilience, you naturally inspire others to do the same. People see in you the courage they might wish to cultivate in themselves. Choosing yourself fuels this inspiration because it means you are living from a place of self-ownership rather than seeking approval. Your actions are driven by your values, not by the need to please others, and that authenticity is magnetic. Inspiration is contagious, and the more you commit to your own path, the more you give others permission to commit to theirs. The combination of challenge and inspiration also strengthens attraction. Relationships built on only comfort can become stagnant, but when there is a balance of encouragement and growth, they remain exciting and engaging. When you choose yourself, you bring fresh energy, ideas, and perspectives into a relationship, preventing it from falling into monotony. You might introduce new experiences, spark meaningful conversations, or model habits that encourage personal development. This keeps the connection alive and evolving. Challenging and inspiring others also creates mutual admiration. When someone feels that you bring out the best in them, they are more likely to value and respect the relationship. At the same time, when you choose yourself, you are selective about who gets to influence you. You invite people into your life who also challenge and inspire you, creating a balanced exchange where both parties grow. This reciprocity makes the bond stronger because it is not one-sided. Each person feels invested in the other's journey. In long-term connections, challenge and inspiration are what prevent the relationship from becoming stagnant. Life will bring changes, and without the willingness to adapt, relationships can wither. Choosing yourself ensures that you are always evolving, which in turn invites your partner or friends to evolve alongside you. The result is a relationship that stays vibrant because it is built on shared growth rather than mere convenience. When you embody the qualities of challenge and inspiration, you become more than just someone to spend time with. You become someone who changes lives for the better. Choosing yourself is the foundation for this, because it allows you to live with clarity, purpose, and passion. That energy doesn't just improve your own life, it leaves a lasting impact on everyone who experiences it. Be memorable, not just visible, means leaving a lasting impression that goes deeper than being noticed in the moment. Visibility is easy to achieve in a world where appearance, status updates, and curated images can grab attention instantly. But attention without substance fades quickly. Being memorable requires a combination of authenticity, emotional impact, and unique presence that stays with people long after the initial interaction. It's about creating moments, conversations, and experiences that touch someone's mind and heart, making them think about you even when you're not there. When you choose yourself, you naturally shift from chasing visibility to cultivating memorability. Choosing yourself means valuing your time, energy, and essence enough to ensure that the impression you make aligns with who you truly are. You're no longer focused on being everywhere or pleasing everyone. You focus on showing up in a way that's genuine and aligned with your values. This approach filters out shallow attention and draws in people who connect with you on a deeper level. Visibility can be fleeting because it often depends on surface appeal, how you look, what you post, or the role you play in a given moment. Memorability is lasting because it's rooted in the way you make others feel and the authenticity you bring to each interaction. When you choose yourself, you stop trying to fit into an image that others expect, and you allow your natural personality, quirks, and passions to come forward. This honesty resonates more strongly than any performance because it's rare and refreshing in a world where many hide behind facades. Being memorable often comes from substance and depth. It's the story you share that inspires someone, the way you listen and make them feel understood, or the boldness with which you pursue your dreams. These qualities create emotional anchors in the minds of others. Choosing yourself gives you the courage to share your truth without fear of judgment, which makes it easier to connect in a way that leaves a lasting mark. Another element of memorability is consistency. When you choose yourself, you live in alignment with your principles and people notice. They remember the person who stayed true to their word, upheld their boundaries, and carried themselves with integrity. This reliability creates trust, and trust is one of the most powerful ways to stay in someone's memory. You become not just someone they noticed once, but someone whose presence and actions they can count on. Memorability is also tied to uniqueness. When you embrace your individuality instead of trying to blend in, you stand out naturally. Choosing yourself means you are comfortable expressing your opinions, pursuing your interests, and living in a way that reflects your personal values. This originality makes you difficult to forget because you are not a replica of anyone else. People may encounter many who are visible, but they will always recall the one who was different in a way that mattered. In relationships, being memorable rather than merely visible means creating genuine emotional experiences. You engage in meaningful conversations, show empathy, and support others in ways that leave them feeling valued. These moments stick far more than surface-level compliments or physical attraction alone. When you choose yourself, you prioritize connections where you can be fully present, and your presence is what makes the encounter unforgettable. Long after physical appearances change and trends fade, people remember how you made them feel. Choosing yourself ensures that your impact is intentional and positive. You carry yourself with self-respect, pursue what excites you, and share your authentic self with the world. This combination of qualities ensures that while visibility may come and go, the memory of who you are and how you lived will remain etched in the minds of those who truly mattered. Authenticity fuels lasting desire because it allows relationships to be built on truth, trust, and emotional intimacy rather than performance or illusion. When you show up as your real self, unfiltered, unmasked, and unapologetic, you invite others to connect with you on a genuine level. Physical attraction or charm may spark interest at the beginning, but it is authenticity that sustains that interest over time. Pretending to be someone you're not might win temporary approval, but it creates a fragile foundation that will eventually crack. Authenticity, on the other hand, is solid and enduring because it aligns with your true values, personality, and emotional needs. When you choose yourself, you naturally embrace authenticity because you stop living for external validation. Choosing yourself means valuing your own truth above the desire to be liked at all costs. You recognize that the right connections will be drawn to the real you, and you are willing to let go of those who only value a version of you that is edited or performed. This mindset shifts the way you interact with others, allowing you to be transparent about what you think, feel, and want, which in turn builds deeper and more sustainable bonds. Authenticity is magnetic because it is rare. In a world filled with social masks, filters, and carefully crafted images, meeting someone who is unafraid to be real feels refreshing. It inspires trust, which is essential for lasting desire. People may be drawn to perfection in the short term, but they stay for honesty and consistency. When you choose yourself, you offer this consistency because you are not constantly changing who you are to fit into different situations. Your behavior, words, and actions match your core values, which makes people feel safe investing in you emotionally. Lasting desire thrives when there is emotional connection, and emotional connection can only grow in the presence of authenticity. When you're real, you allow others to be real too. This creates a space where vulnerability is welcomed, and vulnerability is the bridge to intimacy. Pretending to be someone else often creates distance because the other person can sense when something is off or incomplete. But when you show your strengths, flaws, hopes, and fears openly, you foster closeness that doesn't fade when challenges arise. Choosing yourself strengthens this openness because you have already accepted yourself, making it easier to share your true self without fear of rejection. Authenticity also fuels lasting desire because it keeps attraction fresh. When someone is real, they are dynamic. They evolve, learn, and grow while staying grounded in their identity. This creates a sense of intrigue that doesn't rely on novelty alone. When you choose yourself, you continue to invest in your personal growth, pursue passions, and follow your interests. These evolving layers of your authentic self give people new things to discover about you, keeping the connection alive and engaging over time. In romantic relationships, authenticity ensures that the desire is rooted in reality rather than fantasy. If someone loves you for who you truly are, the connection can withstand changes in circumstances, appearance, or mood. They are not in love with a facade. They are in love with the person underneath, which makes the bond resilient. Choosing yourself ensures you are only attracting people who are aligned with your real self, rather than those who are infatuated with a false image. This alignment is crucial for sustaining passion and commitment in the long run. Authenticity also protects against the exhaustion of constantly performing. When you are pretending to be something you're not, it takes energy to maintain the act, and over time, that energy drains both you and the relationship. Choosing yourself eliminates this strain because you are simply living in your truth, allowing your energy to go toward connection and growth instead of maintaining an illusion. This freedom makes you more relaxed, confident, and present, which are all deeply attractive qualities. By choosing yourself, you commit to living in a way that reflects your true values and desires. This authenticity becomes the foundation for all your connections, ensuring that anyone who desires you is drawn to the real you. That kind of desire lasts because it is not dependent on trends, perfection, or pretense. It is built on the enduring magnetism of someone who knows and accepts themselves fully.